Sharrock this morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Couple questions for you. Where is it you come from to attend this year's conference?
I'm local, so I'm based in Vancouver, and been involved in helping get the conference off the ground as well this year.
Perfect. And tell me your story. How or why did you get into Agile?
As IT director for a company, I was actually in Europe, so a company working in Germany with outsourced IT to Armenia. As the IT director, I took over the worst department, part of that organization, and started looking at how we could improve the processes to make it, to bring it up in terms of quality and performance. And we considered a number of different ways of improving it. One of them was Agile, which we felt we probably weren't ready for, but the consulting company that we talked to was very, very impressive. So they persuaded us to go ahead with it. We implemented Agile over a 3-month period through pilots and then a full rollout across 75 engineers. Hugely successful, and as a result of that, first of all, the department moved from the lowest performing department to the highest performing department, or one of the highest performing departments in the organization within about a year. And secondly, I actually ended up joining the consultancy company because I worked my way out of a job, if you like, in terms of the IT organization, and joined the consulting because I've been working 15 years in IT, always looking for kind of the right way of doing things, and having discovered how successful Agile was in that particular framework with Scrum, but how successful Agile was and a number of the frameworks, and I've really just wanted to go and do the same thing for other companies.
Perfect, thank you. And one of the themes of this year's conference is hunting Agile elephants. Can you give me an example of an elephant that you found to challenge an organization?
What I'm talking about, one of the elephants that I'm talking about is leadership teams and how methods like Scrum or even Kanban don't translate to all areas of the business. So in particular, I'm focusing on leadership teams. Sometimes there's a feeling that Agile is a panacea that solves everything, and yet there's a lack of detail and understanding and attention to how you have to modify how that works in different scenarios. So that's one of these elephants, if you like, is there is no one methodology which is a panacea for all. Everything has to be taken in context. And in particular, as you extend it outside of the technology environment and you start looking at business management, different business organizations, whether it's marketing or lots of different parts of an enterprise, the traditional methods and practices that we understand to be a part of Agile aren't necessarily the right ones to apply. So that's one of the elephants I'd say I certainly see, because more and more we're doing a lot of work with organizations where the Agile engineering practices within the teams and how the teams work is the starting point rather than the end point. And we end up looking at the whole organization and how we can make that whole organization more value-driven, delivering more quickly, learning incrementally, and improving incrementally.
Perfect. And can you tell me why you chose the topic you did to speak on at this year's conference?
Close to home in some cases. So this is really a story about an engagement we did nearly 2 years ago, where it was there were a number of kind of home truths or surprises that came out. We ended up developing a tool that came out of that, or a pattern that we could use. Mm-hmm. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But so it's one of those things that sort of I've invested a lot of time in, and is becoming a very common practice that we use anywhere we go. So a number of the clients that I've worked with this year, for example, we've been fine-tuning and incrementally improving the Agile strategy map, which is the tool that we generated from that. And I'm finding it just being one of those eye-opening moments where you're finding leadership teams which beforehand have been riven with a bit of conflict and how would you call it? So areas like that, areas that they're protecting, silos they're protecting, yeah, and moving over to something where you have an organization that, or a team that is developing teamwork and working much better and better together, with an eye on the
me a success story you've seen in an organization, where you've seen an organization overcome an elephant in the room.
Let me try and pick a different elephant in the room then. So,
Yeah, any
Yeah.
elephant you've come across.
so one of the elephants and actually I'm not sure whether it's covered at the conference in detail, is around the product manager or the product owner. If you take Scrum and the product owner role, we tend to put a huge amount of responsibility on the product owner without really giving the product owner any guidance or tools or anything more than a lot of expectation. And one of the clients that I worked with earlier this year had exactly that problem. One of the questions that was coming to me from the executive team was, we know our product owner is overworked, we don't know how many more people they need and what they should be doing and things like this. So I ended up spending a lot of time, or the team that we had there spent a lot of time trying to help the product owner and understand that side of things. And again, with doing that, we began to understand the complexity of program management, portfolio management from a product side, of the complexity not so much of execution, which is again not completely fully understood but pretty well understood, and the topic of many talks and books and so on, but really looked at how do you feed that execution engine in an effective way so that you're really getting the maximum out. And I think there's still a lot of work to do there. So in terms of a success story there, we ended up using a PO board, a kind of a flow board for the team that highlighted both where the product owner needed support, because you could see the queues building up where they were unable to clear the backlog. It also highlighted the different amounts of work or phases of work they had to do to feed a backlog. But at the same time, I think it asked a lot of questions as well about how we really support the product owner. And I see that one as an elephant in the room that we've still not resolved satisfactorily. So.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for your time.
Cool, thanks a lot.